It's time to take a look at what's happening around Wyoming for Friday, July 5th. I'm Wendy Corr, bringing you headlines from the Cowboy State Daily newsroom, brought to you by Wyoming Senior Olympics. On July 10th, you can help support senior athletes in Wyoming by participating in the Wyo Gives Day of Giving. One person was killed in a shootout with a Yellowstone National Park ranger Thursday morning after an exchange of gunfire with a shooter in the Canyon Village. That's the central region of the park. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that the ranger is injured but in stable condition and receiving treatment, and there are no active threats to the public.
We noticed that people on social media were saying there had been a shooting in Yellowstone and a park ranger was injured. A lot of these statements appeared to contain a leaked email from Cam Shawley Park superintendent. We were able to confirm the email's legitimacy, but even so, we waited for an official announcement from Yellowstone National Park, and we received that late morning Thursday saying that not only had an agent been injured in a shootout with a suspect, but the suspect has died.
Officials had not released the identity of the shooter as of Thursday evening, but did confirm that the incident started Wednesday night and culminated Thursday morning in a shootout. A Kansas-based company is moving forward with plans for a project to store minimally toxic carbon dioxide in underground voids deep under a huge swath of southwest Wyoming. The project's backers want to utilize nearly 605,100 acres of underground space beneath Lincoln, Sweetwater, and Uinta counties, according to energy reporter Pat Mayo.
There's a company called Moxa Carbon Storage, which is trying to go through the permitting process with the state's Department of Environmental Quality as well as the Bureau of Land Management to basically start storing carbon dioxide in caverns underground. Two big projects. One of them is about over 600,000 acres underground that they're going to be putting carbon dioxide into.
Filings submitted to the BLM say no public-owned surface lands would be disturbed, though the carbon dioxide would be stored in federally owned underground pore space. The Ring Nebula, also known as Messier 57, is the grand prismatic spring of the cosmos. Located in the constellation Lyra, Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi says it's one of the most colorful celestial sights in the night skies over Wyoming this summer.
The Ring Nebula is basically a cloud of gas created after the collapse of a sun-like star. And the thing that stuck with me is once I saw the images, it's like the grand prismatic spring of the night sky. So that should resonate with Wyomingites because it's this circular space structure that has a spectacular display of color.
To find the Ring Nebula, amateur stargazers should head outside around 10 p.m. and find the trapezoid-shaped constellation Lyra directly above the upside-down cross of Cygnus. The Ring Nebula is right between the bottom two stars. I'll be back in just 15 seconds with more news.
In southwest Wyoming, wide open space is waiting. This is how we explore it. In Rock Springs and Green River, Wyoming. Plan your adventure at explorewy.com.
A Wyoming woman whose teenage son allegedly stabbed her in the back while she slept is raffling off his pigs to pay down her medical costs. Carla Smith and her son Tharls, who turns 18 in October, were quarreling the night of June 10th about the family's wish to move him into another home when the attack occurred. Carla told Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland that her insurance company just told the family it isn't going to cover her air ambulance, which she said cost $67,000.
Someone had floated the idea of let's do a GoFundMe, let's do a meal train, and she didn't like it. She said she felt like it was imposing on people. So she looked to what she had, and her son was set to auction off 2 hogs at this year's county fair. And she said, well, let's raffle these to pay down the medical bills.
Carla had 6 stitches removed a week ago and is facing a potential 4 to 6 weeks in a restrictive shoulder brace. She will soon be evaluated on whether her shoulder needs surgery. And the legendary Budweiser Clydesdales made the 3rd Rock Springs Liberty Parade the envy of the rest of the Cowboy State on Thursday morning, with people lining up 2 hours in advance along Gateway Avenue to grab a prime spot. And Cowboy State Daily's Greg Johnson was there.
There's 2 things that a parade in Wyoming has to have, and it's horses and tractors. You can't get any more well-known rock star horses than the Clydesdales. They were awesome. They were as huge as promised. People were looking forward to the Clydesdales so much. They were They were showing up more than 2 hours early to get a good spot on the route.
The team of Clydesdales is one of 3 the company sends around the country 300 days a year. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the daily newsletter button on cowboystate.com. And you can watch this newscast every day by clicking subscribe on our YouTube channel. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.